Hey investors, have you ever wondered how to secure your financial future?
Absolutely. With changing market dynamics, expert insights are more crucial than ever.
From retirement account fees to the latest on the housing market in Texas, we've got you covered.
And what about strategies to invest wisely? We'll touch on that too.
Join us as we break down these complex topics into digestible bites.
Stay tuned for insights from our featured guests, including Cathie and Jerome Powell.
But before we dive in, remember, this is educational content, not investment advice. Did you know some homeowners are losing hundreds of thousands on their properties?
Nick Gurley highlights specific cases where price cuts are staggering.
What's sparking these massive price drops?
Let's explore the top 10 listings making waves.
So, what's the main takeaway here?
Nick suggests reflects deeper financial distress in the market.
Could this signal more trouble on the horizon?
Absolutely. The conditions are ripe for further price cuts and defaults.
Some sellers are taking major hits, aren't they?
Definitely. The situation in Palm Beach showcases a staggering loss.
But isn't there still demand?
You'd think so, but sellers are often quite stubborn.
What's happening in Manhattan compared to Austin?
Manhattan is experiencing dramatic losses, while Austin sees its own dips.
What accounts for the disparity?
It all boils down to local market conditions and buyer sentiment.
So what's next for the Florida market?
Nick predicts Florida will face the worst repercussions over the next year.
Quite the cliffhanger.
It highlights the deep regional impact of rising interest rates.
Any final words for potential buyers?
Buyers need to be strategic and prepared for what lies ahead.
Seems like a turbulent road.
Indeed, homeownership isn't a guaranteed profit anymore.
In our next video, we'll explore WTF just happened to Bitcoin with insights from Graham Stephan. Warren Buffett called Bitcoin rat poison, yet it's skyrocketing.
Right? Graham discusses why that statement might now be questioned.
So what's driving this surge?
Let's unpack his insights regarding today's crypto landscape.
What's Graham's core thesis?
He warns about volatility, but suggests that long-term strategies can be beneficial.
Is he advocating we should invest?
Not without careful consideration and planning.
Incredible gains abound, but at what cost?
The highs can obscure the massive risks lurking beneath.
What's the catch?
Those gains come with volatility that can wipe you out.
Graham shares some surprising investment strategies, right?
Yes, he reveals that lump sum investing often outperforms dollar cost averaging.
Interesting. Should we follow this strategy?
If you're prepared for the risks and have a solid hold time.
What's Graham forecasting for Bitcoin's future?
He anticipates growing regulatory acceptance could lead to greater stability.
How significant is that?
Very. It could cement Bitcoin's status as a legitimate asset class.
What's the key takeaway?
Invest thoughtfully in Bitcoin while accepting the inherent volatility.
So patience and planning are essential.
Exactly. The best investors maintain their composure.
This summary has been insightful. Time to hit that like button.
Absolutely. And subscribing means you won't miss out on any future insights.
What are we witnessing on the ground after Hurricane Helene?
The recovery efforts are intense, but the scale of destruction is staggering.
Let's delve into the team's on-site experiences and the challenges they face. What's the core challenge the team is facing?
They're battling not just debris, but the sheer volume of it.
And technologies like sonar are crucial.
Absolutely. It's essential for locating what's concealed beneath the rubble.
How severe is the destruction?
It's heart-wrenching. There are thousands of piles. It's nearly impossible to locate anyone.
Volunteers play a critical role, right?
Definitely. More hands are essential to manage the scale.
Can you explain the technological role here?
Sure. Sonar and LiDAR penetrate the debris where human efforts can't.
What's the cost of such technologies?
It's not cheap, but necessary for effective recovery operations.
Will we see more community efforts moving forward?
Absolutely. There's already a noticeable rise in volunteer interest.
That's a positive sign.
Indeed. It shows people want to help rebuild.
So what's the overarching theme here?
It's all about leveraging technology and harnessing community spirit.
Could this situation spark a wave of volunteerism?
That's the hope.
But don't go away, because our next episode features Peter Schiff discussing everything that could change in 2025.
Sounds intriguing. Can't wait to hear those insights.
What do you expect as we approach 2025?
Peter Schiff believes we're on the verge of major economic changes.
What kind of changes are in store?
Let's examine his thoughts regarding the financial landscape.
So what's the crux of Peter's argument?
He suggests we are merely delaying the inevitable crash by pumping more money into the system.
What needs to happen?
Schiff insists that significant cuts to spending, especially on welfare programs, are crucial.
Peter highlights our staggering debt accumulation.
Absolutely, deficits are increasing and show no signs of slowing.
What's his proposed solution?
He advocates cuts to programs like Social Security to stabilize the budget.
Inflation is hitting everyone hard, isn't it?
Yes, and Peter attributes it directly to misguided fiscal policies.
Is there hope for recovery?
Only if swift reforms are implemented.
Schiff holds radical views on Social Security.
He does. He believes it should be phased out completely.
Who would be most affected by this?
Low-income individuals primarily relying on it for survival.
What's the timeline for this potential economic collapse?
Schiff suggests it could happen as early as next year.
Will that prompt immediate reforms?
Only if the government reacts appropriately, which hasn't been the case thus far.
Bottom line, we need to brace ourselves for possible unrest.
And advocate for reforms that yield real change.
Something has to give, right?
Definitely. It's time for action, not merely discussions.
Don't miss our next video featuring Ken McElroy discussing why the wealthy avoid 401ks. 401ks, are they truly the best way to save for retirement?
Ken challenges us to reconsider as he questions their value altogether.
What critical points does he raise about 401ks?
Let's dive into his insights right now.
What's the central argument against 401ks?
Ken posits they lack transparency and often yield lower returns than one expects.
How so?
The average return can obscure actual losses if managed poorly.
Ken shares a shocking example. How can a 50% yearly swing yield a loss?
Precisely, average returns often hide stark realities.
What's his advice for investors regarding these figures?
Understand the investments, know where your money actually goes.
How do management fees impact a 401k?
A typical managerial fee can result in losing 22% of your gains over time.
That's staggering. How does that compare to other investments?
Real estate, for instance, often shows a clearer fee structure and aligns profits better.
Could we see a shift in investment trends soon?
Absolutely. Ken foresees investors flocking to real estate for better yields.
A smarter strategy indeed.
And this trend appears to be gaining serious traction.
What's the big takeaway here?
Be proactive about your investments. Real estate could be a game changer.
And how can viewers engage with this community?
Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark an enlightening discussion.
What an incredible set of insights we've just experienced.
Absolutely. Each guest brought forward some valuable points on how we approach our finances.
Ken really hit hard on the downsides of 401k plans. It's surprising how many people might not be aware of those hidden fees.
Definitely, and Peter's analysis of the economy is quite sobering, warning us about inflation and overspending.
Yes, and then Graham highlighted the exciting yet risky world of cryptocurrency.
And Nick's findings about the housing market downturn were eye-opening. It's a real wake-up call.
What's fascinating is that, while they all agree on needing to adapt, they have different views on how to navigate these market shifts.
Right. Ken's and Peter's disagreement on retirement strategies really emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all.
It's clear that staying informed is more crucial than ever.
Exactly. If you found this discussion helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more expert insights.
Your support makes it possible for us to continue delivering valuable content.
Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to check out our other videos for more finance wisdom.